Hey everybody, Tradius Trades back with another video. Today we're going to do our weekly recap of oil. In other words, what am I looking to do in oil this week? And just remember, I'm not telling you go and buy and sell anything. This is for you to learn from. Okay, nothing more. All right, let's go. So crude oil, I'm long already. This wasn't my initial entry here. My initial entry was actually back here, based on a qualified trend line breakout. So I got long right here, and then I made the mistake of getting into an expiring contract. I wasn't really keeping an eye on the days to expiry, and so I had to roll my position here. So this stop is based on a 3-bar trail now. So what am I seeing here on crude this week? Well, as always, I like to start on kind of a zoomed out time frame. So I'm going to go over to the rolling contract as well, just for this purpose of this video. So here's what I see. Well, on the monthly, clearly, we're really quite oversold. That hasn't meant a whole lot of anything, though. We've been oversold for a long time, and we get a few bounces, but here and there. But generally speaking, it stayed oversold here for like a year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months before a rally. So that doesn't really mean much to me, considering we are in a yearly downswing. We are in a bearish monthly 18-period moving average trend. These buy signals mean less to me than the sell signals. Sell signals way better in a downtrend, and buy signal is not going to work as good in a downtrend. So what I'm seeing is, well, from a price action perspective, the trend, the monthly momentum is down. We're in a downswing. In order to get into a monthly upswing, we need to get all the way up to April's highs for me to be technically bullish on the monthly. Weekly gives us a bit more insight. So last week we confirmed a higher low. So what I really need to see the bulls do this week is not trade down to last week's low. If we start off the week here and we just dump, this is what? A lower high, and that's not really going to make me feel super good about holding a long. Even though the long is based on COT data, it still doesn't really make me feel overly confident at all in being long. Lower highs are not bullish, everybody, especially in alignment with a bearish 18-period moving average weekly trend. So that's what I'm watching for. Also, we're in a bearish weekly moving average trend, and the weekly percent R just got close to overbought here on the 4 period. So trading down to this low is not going to be bullish at all. I really want to see the bulls step up and take us up. So where are we at here? So we do have some bullish developments in that we've had on this chart, we've not quite had a 12 period or a 12 Donchian. On the front month chart, we've had a 12 Donchian trend break. So I go over to here, see we've taken out the highest high of the last 12 days. That's a bullish development. This is the contract that I'm in now. So what would give me a reason to get involved here again if I wasn't in? I'm already in, so I'm not looking for a new entry. But basically, Friday's bar was an up close. So that means the previous bar, we can look to it to tell if this trend line is qualified. It was a down close, meaning it's qualified to take entries at this trend line if we get them. So, some trade would be something like that. Target would be extension of this swing. That'd be trading up to around $67. So I would have far rather been in RB or heating oil. They just been stronger than crude oil, comparably stronger, but these contracts are too big for my account size, so I stick with what I can afford to do within my risk management. So that's kind of what I'm looking to do here this week, you guys. I would like to see, for a bullish case, I would really like to see us get an 18-period moving average trend change. So I'll show you what that would look like. I will just tidy up this chart a little bit so that it's just the 18-period moving average that you can see. And what I would want to see is 2 full range bars that cannot be inside bars, mind you, above the 18 MA. So it'd look like something like this. And then we'd have 2 full range bars like that, and then price trades up and takes out the high of those 2 bars. That'd be a full-on bullish trend change on the 18-period moving average method. That'd be in alignment with a weekly upswing, and that would give me confidence in taking oversold pullbacks. As of right now, though, I'm not trading this just based on price action. because of the fundamentals. So the fundamentals are bullish in crude. We reviewed this last week. We'll review it again. Commercials positioning, very bullish. The small specs and the large specs are also relatively quite bearish. What I do like seeing though is this is the large specs. These are the trend followers. So what's happening is they're coming out of this extreme. They're coming across, and we see when they come across, so often is the momentum we're looking for to take this move in this direction. Because remember, these guys are trend following. They are going to give this move momentum and more gas, the fuel to the fire as it moves along. Look at the last time they came across here. Well, we had momentum to the upside. Look at when they started coming across to the downside. That really initiated that trend. So that's kind of what I'm noticing, is that these guys are starting to come across. That could mean that our move is underway here. And we also see the sentiment started to come up and get very bullish. So that means, these guys can be right initially, especially when juxtaposed or when they're not juxtaposed to the commercials. So they're on the same side as the commercials right now, so they've kind of switched. That can show us that the momentum is shifting. That's what we're looking for, is the momentum to shift in this direction based on the fundamentals, which is positioning. Very long commercials. Recently, very bearish sentiment, undervalued versus gold. There's other things, but those are the only ones I'll show you. But these are, pointing towards very bullish move coming up in crude. I guess I could also show you the seasonal, because the seasonal is bullish too, generally to go up until mid-June. So that's it, you guys. That's what I'm looking for on crude oil. I'm already long. I'm not taking the price action shorts right now, just because the risk reward to me is skewed to the upside based on the fundamentals driving the market, pointing towards bullish moves on the horizon for crude oil. So basically, want to see further confirmation of a bullish trend change. We got a good start by some trend line breaks and some 12 Donchian breaks on the front month contract, but to really get me going for taking longs would be getting that 18 period moving average bullish trend change, and then looking for pullbacks, oversold pullbacks to get long. So that's my plan for crude oil. If you have questions, you know where to find me. As my email, tradiustrades@gmail.com. Hope you guys like these videos. If you like them, like, subscribe, and share. Tell your friends. And hope you guys have a good week trading, and thanks for listening.